Well, Aisha, it's one of those things where this is an outflow of things we believe to be true. So the same gospel that saves us is also the gospel that changes us. And what we're hoping in Chicago is it will turn us all, ourselves included, from being tourists and just loving our museums and the Cubs and our good restaurants and caring about things like the schools, corruption, the homicide rate, and just all the problems and brokenness that the city has to offer.
Now, I'm sure you've been talking to parishioners and they've been telling you how they plan to spend the money. What are some of the ways that have really stood out for you?
The reaction was very interesting, actually, because at first it's sort of like, hey, we're getting this money. And then almost instantly, the weight of that fell upon them because it's no longer, they're $2, they're $7, they're $12 to blow as ever, however they want it. It's like, gosh, this is God's money. And that's one of the lessons we're trying to teach them. So everything we have is a gift from God. So how do we steward it? And it can be everything from talking to homeless people, but just not giving them the money, but maybe going out and buying them a lunch and sitting down and having a conversation with them, so where they're really getting to know each other.
What do you say to those people that say, well, this isn't really the purview of the church. It should be about spiritual sustenance and that this is a bad precedent. What do you say to those folks?
We think it's really connected because we think once people are transformed, that Jesus wants them to engage. And it's simply, we have people volunteer a lot, and so what we want them to do with their money is really just an extension of what's happening to their heart.
And talk to me about what's the next step? I mean, you've done this. Do you have other such exercises in the pipeline? I mean, what is the next step for bringing your community together?
We don't. The win for this is if people get more deeply involved in some of these communities. So it's great to go to a homeless shelter and say, here's $20, and you pool it up with other people in your small group or other friends, and maybe you have $100. But if it becomes a one-shot deal, that's a fail. And if people look at us and say, wow, what a great bunch of people, that's not good. If people say, what a great church, well, that's a little bit better, but it's not what we want. What we want them to say is, what a great king these people serve.